It's episode 3 time, and you know what's exciting about episode 3? As you can see, the moon is currently rising, which means that it's nearly the next day. And the next day is going to be day 100. Oh dear. So I'm going to jump in the bed, and boom! We're on day 100. We made it. We did it to 100. I say we made it like it was an achievement. I died so many times that it's definitely not an achievement, but here we are on day 100. And the first thing I'm going to do is get mining, get some resources together. I'm also going to keep chopping down my trees, and then we can get the storage system. Storage system? I am stupid. The storage system up and running. So you've seen those videos, and if you haven't seen those videos, you've definitely seen those thumbnails where they say, never use coal again. Here's the best thing to do to never need fuel for your furnace. And normally the thumbnail is like a bamboo farm, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a bamboo farm which feeds directly into my smelter. So here is my auto smelter, which is currently using charcoal, which means I've got to burn up all my logs. And as stated in my previous episode, I want to be making a storage system. So I'm going to need all my logs. So I'm thinking I build a bamboo farm up here. I'm going to make it flow all the way down into this. Now, I like the idea of doing multi-leveled things like this, right? So I think if I make it multi-leveled, then I can get lots of cool stuff. I mind this, by the way. Oh yeah, since the start of the video, it has been 7 days. So now on day 107, it's just been mining and gathering wood. So I got a lot of diamonds and stuff now as well. Now this outcrop could be quite nice to stick a bamboo farm on. Now I'm limited by the water. When I say limited, it's not really that limiting. Like water flows 8 blocks. So I can make 2 lots which are offset by 1 block. So the water flows blah blah blah. That would give me 16. Or it might be 15. I'm not quite sure how the maths works on that. However, I do think it'd be cooler if I could make it like a skyscraper, make it upright. So I'm going to think up some designs, and I think I will stick it on this outcrop, and then it can flow back into the base. It's like a little outsourcey bit. Now, what am I going to build it from? That is the question. I could just build it entirely out of bamboo. That could be quite cool. And for that, I need some bamboo. Luckily, there is some over there. So my mouse is doing something funny. I've just bought me a new mouse, and whenever I lift it up off the table, it does this. I don't think that's quite right. I'm sorry for that, for any viewers that found that discomforting. But look, if I want to look up or down, I guess, it just does this. I might need to send this mouse back. No, I'm not a big fan of this green book here. I'm an old school Minecrafter. I like to do this, right? But when you're making bulk, it's good to go in here, type bamboo, and just shift click all of that. Boom, look at that. That took me half a second. That's crazy. Righty. So first things first, we're going to cut out this little bit of wall here. Leaving myself defenseless out in the open. I then need some dirt to grow the bamboo on. I want it to be a little bit higher off the floor so I can redirect it across over to there as and when I need it. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then our dirt goes in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on, 8. And again on this side, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we have it, a fully functioning bamboo farm. Well, not really. Got our water flowing down the middle. Then the old bamboo goes along here, like this. It will continue the whole way, but I don't currently have enough bamboo. I'm then going to create some pistons, create some sensors, and I'll show you what makes this particular one a little bit special. Right, so this is the concept. As you may well know, that to make a bamboo farm, you chop bamboo in, you then have a piston here which chops the bamboo. Fairly simple stuff. It's not really mind-blowing redstone at all. However, when you do and you chop the bamboo, there is an issue that arises. That issue is that not all of it is going to fall into this water stream. A lot of it will fall down onto this dirt. So this design, with a dispenser on top with water in it, you already know where I'm going with this. Anything above the water will be pushed into the main stream of water. So it's not going to work as it currently is, as it's just going to splash the water and push it anywhere. But here is the idea. See, the water flows this way and it pushes it down. And then another tick turns it off. But for some reason that didn't work for a second time. Anyway, here is a nice time lapse of me building the rest of it. So a lot of the redstone work is in. I'm only doing one side for now. I'm just going to hook up the observer at the top. That means I've got to go in the nether, get some quartz, so I'll be right back. Into the nether we go. Hey! Well, we're going to skip over the fact that that was our first time going to the nether and just be like, okay, that was excellent. That's really cool. There we have it. It's a very simple design. The observer sees the bamboo has grown and sends a pulse all the way down, which then fires off the piston at the bottom, which will then break the bamboo, which will then tell the observer again that the bamboo has been broken. It will then send another pulse, which will turn off the water, which has been cascading into there. The one thing I need to do is add some sides, and then away we go. Let's test this bad boy out. And of course, the second I jump, I miss it. And I also only put water in one of them. Well, the idea works. Apart from the fact it didn't shut the water off again. I've adjusted some of this, added another repeater, and extended some of the redstone out to the side, as I completely forgot that I needed to cover this bit in redstone as well. Right, I'm now hoping that it's all going to work. I think I've got it all hooked up correctly, and I've added the right amount of water and pistons. Let's hope. Yes, that's exactly what we want. And there's the odd one or two that's going to land on here, but that was to be expected, but it's a lot less than it would be without the water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this exact structure on the other side as well, have it doubled up, and then we have our bamboo factory. A few tweaks later, and we are up and running. So it's the same basic principle. We have the bamboo growing in here. It reaches this level, and this fella goes beep, 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 beep. He sends a signal down here, which goes into this. These are all the water dispensers now. They dispense the water out from just above the pistons, and the pistons go, which breaks all of the bamboo from this line upwards. The bamboo drops down, and there is a flow of water on both sides, which appears, which is what this redstone line here does, which flows all of the water into the middle, which drops down into this stream, and this stream feeds into these hoppers, which then go boop, 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 into the furnace. Furnace, auto smelter, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, free infinite fuel. The only problem is, it really is quite slow. So I think to make it efficient, I'd have to make it like 3 or 4 stories high. That's something for a future episode, I think. I haven't got round to naming my pick yet, and in the hardcore series, it was called Fortunate Son, this kind of pick, but I don't really know what to call it. I want it to be like a daily driver, so this is something that I just use all the time, and therefore, because it's efficient, and you drive it every day to work, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but it's called Prius. Bog standard and boring. So the plan now is to create the storage system. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make it very much expandable. So I might actually start a fair bit above where I've dug out this hole, and this can be the very lower level. I'm going to build up this exact shape, but maybe 3 or 4 blocks higher. Then I'm going to build the mechanism on the top, and then the mechanism will filter down all the items down into the lower chest, which gives me some lower down expandability if I need it. Which, if we're playing this world infinitely, I probably will. It makes a lot of sense. It looks like our bamboo farm is about to pop. There it goes. Dropping all the bamboo in, floating it all into the middle. Well, not all of it. Then once it's at the bottom, whoosh, down into the hopper at the end. And then here they come, up here, into the hoppers below. With the design that I want to be using, I actually have to move my entire hole about 3 or 4 blocks that way. So, this will be boring. Right, I have moved the hole over. I've added the second layer. I've made it a little bit skinnier as well, just so I can fit in all of the redstone contraption-y bits behind it. If you're not sure how, like, an item sorter works, that's what I'm going to be doing. I've never, ever made one of these before, but there's 16 million tutorials on how to do it. If you want to search that up, feel free. But I see very little point in telling you how this works. The idea is that this top hopper... Hang on, didn't I say I wasn't going to explain how it works? Oh well, here's how it works. This top hopper has 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 items in it. When this has 23 items in it, it extends this redstone signal out here, which goes to this repeater, which you can't see. It's a repeater in there, which then turns off this lamp, which allows this hopper to activate, which means that it will drop the item in the far left slot down into itself and then into the chest. So if I chuck a load of iron ingots in it, it will drop them down through this one, but you can't see them moving, and into the chest. There they all are. Now this is all very well and good, and all the tutorials that I've looked at have said it's tileable. However, I'm not too sure about that, so we'll give it a try. Actually, thinking about it, yeah, of course it's tileable, because the most that this will ever extend to is this or this. It won't, like, double up, so it should be perfectly fine to work. Yes, I am using iron blocks to build this thing because I am rich. I think this calls for a time lapse. So I'm going to sleep after it has become nighttime, and then we will build this tomorrow. It's in and it's working. I haven't decided what's going in each chest yet. However, we have all of our buffers in every single one of these. Obviously, I have 2 more sides to do as well to make the entire thing complete. But the idea is that it's here, and that is making me very excited. So, I've got to work out what's going in each of these chests. I'm going to double them up. I'm also going to be running a line of hoppers down behind them that goes boom all the way down to the floor. And then the actual chest will access will be down here at the bottom. I think that makes sense, but I'm going to need way more wood to do that, which is why I've got the wood farm. And then, yeah, we're going to have a fully lovely little working thingy. All of the sorting mechanism is finished. Look how grandiose it looks. There's loads of it. And it's raining. Be right back. As I was saying, it's looking cool. It's looking big. Now, I've realized that I've overshot a little bit. So I've made the first chest that sorts things here. And I was planning on going down underground, which starts here. So I'm going to have to move the whole thing forwards a bit, which is fine, because I kind of wanted the front to line up with the bamboo farm anyway. So I'm going to just probably delete a lot of this skyline bit here. Label up some of the stuff and move the front forward, and then I'm just waiting on wood, really, so I can build all of the extra chests and all of the hoppers to go down. This is a hell of a big project. There was a little bit of finagling up at the top to sort of move the items down into like a big proper storage. I could have done it the other way, I guess, but I wanted it all facing the middle so that it looked sort of uniform and nice. So what it does mean is deleting all of these lovely smooth stone blocks all the way around. However, I could just re-add them back. That wouldn't be the end of the world. This is what's going to be all the way around the entire way. This will be the storage. It allows for expansion down below if we need to add more storage in. However, I don't know. If I've got this much of one item, I think that's way too much anyway. So, therefore, I don't think I'll be expanding any further down from this in the future. But it's definitely nice to have the option there. Well, I'm going to spend the next week gathering wood to make all of these all the way around, and then I just need to pick what goes in each one, and then we have a fully crazy cool sorting automatic system storage area base thing. The first wall is complete. We have an assortment of items on here, and you can see I've tried to do a little bit of decoration. I'm not sure whether it'll stick or not, but it makes it look a bit busier than just the chests, and it is sorting everything beautifully apart from where it isn't. Okay, I found out the issue. I put raw copper in it, and raw copper breaks it. I think I've got a pretty good idea of how to make this completely, like, accident-proof. I was thinking about a separate sort of system that would take all of the raw copper and put it somewhere, and everything that wasn't raw copper, it would send it through into the main system. Then I thought, I've pretty much already got that, so if I just convert the very first line into a raw copper sorter, then it will pull all the raw copper out and not send it down, thus not clogging the rest of the machine. I know, I said machine funny. How silly. And now we have it completely working. We've got the raw copper, which will filter into here. Some chests. This will be wood. I don't know how that got in there. Must be from earlier when I was fixing it. We've got iron, dirt, wood, cobble, gold, bread, diamonds, sticks, apples, food, tree, blue, stone again, red, bread, not bread, potato, and glass. And then this will continue all the way around, all the way to this end. I'm just mining for wood. This is taking me absolutely forever to get the wood for. So whilst I am waiting for my wood to grow, I'm going to be upgrading the bamboo farm. I know I've just built it, but I learned something new which will help in the efficiency of the bamboo farm. Now, if I get dirt, fill up a bottle of water, and then feed the water to the dirt, it becomes mud. This may not seem like anything crazy. Mud, for some reason, thinks it's a pixel smaller than any other block. As you can see here, this is lining up perfectly, so I don't really know where it gets that idea. So if I place a hopper under the mud and throw something onto the mud, boom, it goes down into the hopper. Now, the big brain of you will understand exactly what this means. For those that have got a slightly smaller brain, I'll explain it. Now we have our bamboo farm. I'm going to clear all of the dirt out after I've got this water. You may be thinking, but what are you going to grow your bamboo on? That's where the mud comes in. Because bamboo can be grown on mud. Which means that all those extra bits that don't get caught by the mainstream will land on the mud. And guess what I'm going to put underneath the mud? That's right. I've fallen to my death. That's right. I'm covering the bottom of this in hoppers. So now every single bit of bamboo will flow directly into the machine. Of course, I've had the idea to make like a flying machine that cuts all the bamboo up, and you could do like a big field of bamboo, and that'd be really, really cool and efficient. But I'm not doing that today. That's something for another episode. It's maybe the least attractive thing I've ever made, but here it is. The sorting system is done. It all works. It's all got stuff labeled on it. There's a few trapdoors up, which is just for me organizing a few bits, but it's ready to go. We can throw whatever we want in that chest up there, smash it into a million pieces, and then it all gets sorted. How cool is that? I'm just going to do some more design-based touches all the way around. I was thinking about using copper, because copper's cool. Copper's really not cool, but I like the idea that it would change color over time. That's pretty cool. I'm also going to add a bubble lift over there to put all the items in, and then that means I don't have to climb up that stupid cobble staircase to put anything in the top. It's been a while since the last bit you saw. However, I can tell you, the sorting machine 3000 is complete. We have all of our chests in here, all sorted out correctly. I've even added some cool lighting up at the top. This is all going to turn into a lovely green as time goes on. It's going to look absolutely fantastic. So let's throw some bits and pieces in here. Oh, not eggs, not arrows. They're not allowed to go in because of the... it doesn't matter why, but they're not. They all go in, and you can see the items traveling through the machine into their respective areas, into the Sortimajig 3000. Sortimatron, Sortima thing, whatever you want to call it. I've also done a little bit of work on the outside. This is kind of how the outside of the building looks at the moment. It's a little bit flat for my liking, but it's not the end of the world. And I'm not too sure about a roof. I think I'm not going to bother with a roof, as long as you can't really see the internal workings, which you can a bit there. I think that's not the end of the world, so from this perspective, it looks quite cool. Also, I've got this little totem in the middle of useful things. Well, that is where I'm going to leave this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope this has been a bit of an interesting build for you guys. And I hope that I'll see you in the next episode. Enjoy the rest of your day.